First, I will tell you that I was very nervous
Oh,
suddenly to interview you,
yeah.
and I was like, "Well, what's this? What's going on in my body now that I'm so stressed?" And then when I let go of the thought that this is for me and this is something that I do for me, I felt easier.
Yes.
Read your book. Let's talk about zero gravity living, unlocking the secrets of life and existence. And I saw a phrase that I felt immediately connection to, which is self-violence.
Yes.
Yes. And I think I do that. I do that a lot. I'm triggered a lot, I guess, by people, and I think I acknowledge the violence that I implement on myself. But let's start with that.
Yes.
So let's maybe explain what is self-violence.
Self-violence is violent to oneself. One can be violent to oneself. So the self-violence begins with all kinds of self-judgments. We make self-judgments. We have a bunch of conclusions we create to define ourselves. So this self-judgment are all self-notions or conclusions one has got about oneself. These conclusions or notions or judgments have the potential to create resistance in awareness. So when whatever creates resistance in awareness, in the self, which is awareness, then immediately the reflection of that resistance you can avail, you can experience. Unhappiness is the result.
Is the what?
Is the result
Result, yeah.
when there is resistance in awareness. I become unhappy. Now, how I am punishing myself, how I am violent to myself, I need to know. And I need to know how to free myself being violent to myself. That's why a person who is self-violent has already created this fragmentation in awareness, and immediately there will be sense of separation. The sense of separation, the world begins where my no sense. This is a conclusion, and everything in the world is separate from me. People are separate, world is separate. So the sense of separation is one of these conclusions.
Yeah, I feel the separation.
Yes.
And you wrote it in the book. So many people have this disease, let's say, the self-judgment, the restless mind. It doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. And it's connected to the pain that we gathered through the years and maybe in previous lives. I tell you an image, okay, metaphorically. I know you a few days, and it was such a blessing to know you and to listen to you. And there's one thing that I wanted to share with you. And I hope many people can also relate about this restless mind that always give us like criticism, blame. It doesn't end. My image is like this: a big dog, the pain is a big dog that always I carry with me, and he eats everything so quickly. Everything that people throw to him, or the world, negativity, emotions, energies, he eats so quick I cannot even tame him. And I was like, I'm a bit, and sometimes they say it's good to be in this position of tiredness. I'm actually a bit exhausted,
Yeah.
How can you be always like, and now that I'm even aware of these mind games, I know this mind, I know its thoughts. I'm trying to, to be separate from them and to surrender to them. And I'm always in this kind of, but I don't know why Australia gave me such a big challenge. There is nothing here. Everything is so amazing. And I feel unhappiness. A few times, I would not say I'm really grateful here, but there was sadness, which was strong, which was surprising for me, but I accepted it also. I tried to be with it, the big dog, just to be with it, eat whatever you want. And then I said to myself, but how? How can I, limit this dog from eating so quickly. I cannot even, he just eats and he grows and he grows. And you know, I walked, by the way, the nature helps me a lot. Just to walk with myself in the nature here quietly. And then there was idea that comes from deep, let him eat. Let the dog eat as much as he wants. Let him grow and just be aware of it. Let him grow as much as he can. And I think he told me that if the dog eats so much, eventually he will collapse. Because it's so much, he will collapse by himself. But I'm aware I have a big pain body, okay? Pain in my body. And we talked about self-violence. There is a lot of violence there that always like trying to stab me, you know? I feel like stabs, always. And now that I'm aware of it, I feel it's a bit harder, you know? Because before I just went to watch something on the phone, to eat something, just to go away from it. But now that I'm aware of it, it's hard because I always like, you know, you talked about enemy, you know? I feel like unfortunately, I see the mind a little bit like an enemy, which I know you should not see the ego or the mind as an enemy. But oh my God, I'm exhausted. What do you want? Like, it's so hard for me. Like, it doesn't matter what I do, it takes. And people are the biggest, I would say, challenge. Like, I feel it. Triggers me the quickest.
Yes. So, if you are violent to yourself, naturally your defense system is in operation, and you
Different system?
your defense system,
Yeah, you see,
you will become overprotective of yourself, and there will be more and more sense of alienation from the people around, and there will be a lot of conclusions. People cannot be trusted. This is one narrative. You cannot trust people. Then you have to protect yourself from people. These are all the reflection of self-violence, sense of duality inside.
Yes, these kind of thoughts.
Yes, these kind of thoughts, is creating it. Therefore, the problem is not with people around. The problem is the way I perceive myself. I need protection from others. People cannot be trusted. These narratives, as long as I hold, then that will create fear in me, because I don't have any trust.
You talk about trust, but this is not a narrative that I hold. This is actually a good thing that you raise.
I mean, what is the basic premise? People can be trusted, people are good. Now, with that basic premise, when you operate, then there are situations wherein we need to protect ourselves functionally, physically. But the deep narrative inside is no one can be trusted, people cannot be trusted. So we fail to see the goodness in people. That's the reason why when you hold a narrative inside, the narrative is creating fear. That doesn't mean that we should dismiss the functional fears, certain situations. But most of our fears are imaginative, and it is born of this narrative. That's why the deep down we need to be trustful. Then we can be practical when we relate with people. Therefore, it depends on situations and people. We are practical, we can have provisional judgments, and we respond to people, we respond to situations. But as long as we hold this narrative, already the defense mechanism is in operation. I become very protective. So that means I have hurt myself with that narrative. So I need to at least have positive affirmations before understanding.
I need to have what?
Positive affirmations. Affirmations to begin with.
For example?
People can be trusted.
Yes.
They are like me.
People are good.
People are good. People can be trusted.
Yes.
That is the reality. If I want people to trust me, I should trust them. But this narrative, which then immediately the defense mechanism is in operation. Then everybody is looked upon with suspicion. I look at everyone with certain suspicion inside. So the narrative is creating that suspicion. The narrative is creating that fear. So 99% of our fears are imaginative, which is born of this narrative. So affirmation is the first step we need to take psychologically. Rather than resolving everything at the level of existence, first, the day-to-day life, we need to have, psychologically we need to change all these narratives. We need to have positive affirmations to oneself. I trust myself. I am lovable to myself. People are lovable, they can be trusted. Whomsoever that person may be, irrespective of religious identity, irrespective of nationality, the core person, the simple conscious person, the goodness of the person, everybody is good. The core person is good. That's why you have to teach people how to hate.
You have to teach people
how to hate. Ideologies are teaching people how to hate. Nationalities are teaching people how to hate. Religious identities are teaching people how to hate, because we are not being taught how to use our nationality just as a functional card. Functionally, we are never been taught, because the core person is always good. So we are looking at people through their religious identity, through their nationality, and the narrative is what? That they cannot be trusted. This basic narrative, we need to throw it into the basket.
I have to say, I believe in that. That's beautiful. All
Then
people are good.
All
should
people
be
are
trusted.
good. All people can be trusted.
But the point that you raised, which I think is very important, whoever is listening now, is to do affirmations, to remind yourself. I truly believe that. Deep inside, I do believe that all people are good and all people should and can be trusted. But you should say to yourself, even often, because the mind always give you.
This is all reflection, because when the narrative comes up, we have to refuse at least to buy that narrative, and we have to bring in affirmations. If in as much as I can be trusted, I want everyone to trust me, and I find that I can be trusted. Then if I can be trusted, every person can be trusted.
Yeah, I can trust
because
myself.
everyone is like me.
I can trust myself.
Yes.
More affirmations? What more affirmations?
People.
I can trust myself. So beautiful. Yeah.
Yes. I have to trust myself because my existence is pure. So I can trust myself, and I can trust others. Let people have their own religious identities. I don't care. I trust the simple good person in everyone.
I don't even go to the identities and nationalities. I don't go there.
So
I go to relationships.
I simply trust people because in as much as I can be trusted, I want others to trust me. My position is people can be trusted. So I don't allow any self-doubt to creep into my psyche, nor do I allow any narrative which is life negative to carry me forward. I don't want to carry any life negative narrative. I don't believe in it.
What else affirmations do you recommend?
I am lovable to myself as I am. I am acceptable to myself as I am.
Wow.
I am lovable to myself the way I am. Lovable. I am lovable to myself the way I am.
Yes.
I am acceptable to myself the way I am. And I can allow people to be what they are. And I can love them the way they are. I don't want people to change so I can love them or I can trust them. Or I can accept them. I don't want them to change. Because others can have their own individuality. So I give people the freedom to be what they are. I don't want people to behave in a particular way to me so I can love them or I can trust them or I can accept them. People are acceptable the way they are. And people are different. Differences lead to beauty. The differences create beauty. People are different, that's why they are beautiful.
What happens when there is arguments, or I don't even talk about arguments,
I mean,
like conflicts or relationships, you know?
when
That
I
suddenly-
trust you,
Yes.
you, I have the right to disagree with you.
Yes.
So I agree to disagree with you. My love and trust continues even after my disagreement.
My love and trust continues. That's
Continues.
beautiful.
Yes.
That's really beautiful.
I disagree. I agree.
Yes.
See, we two people trust each other about many things. You have your own opinion. I have my own opinion. So I need not agree with what all the things you think is right. So we agree to disagree. But after disagreement also, our trust and love continues.
Yes. What about a case when your friend hurts you or mistrusts you or
That is because the person is not informed enough.
consciously?
Yes.
Okay.
Had that person has informed enough, has knowledge, the person wouldn't have behaved the way the person has behaved. So there is a certain amount of helplessness in that person. Want of knowledge, want of information might have led this kind of misconduct or whatever. But the core person, I am still in love and trust. I trust the core person.
Yes, but it's hard. You get hurt so quickly. The dog eats so fast. The pain.
See, people do things based on their information, based on their knowledge. So they can go wrong. So they will never ever question their conclusions about others. They think their conclusions are right. So it takes a self reflective mind at least to doubt one's own conclusions. That's why when I start relating with someone, that person, I am not trusting that person based on the person's behavior. I'm trusting the person because the core person in everyone is the same. The simple conscious person in everyone is the same. And there is a overlapping of individuality on that simple conscious person and all conclusions which are eclipsing the goodness from that person to reveal. So my love and my acceptance, my trust continues even after all disagreements and differences.
That's beautiful. I want to ask you. The dog eats quickly, and it's a bit tiring. You know, the dog, the pain body. You know, it quickly eats. It quickly gets bigger. How would you? And it's tiring. You know, the dog barks. You know, all the time. The mind always give you some thoughts, negative thoughts, and you're aware of them and you surrender to them. But again and again and again and again.
That means the person deep down is in self doubt. When the self doubt goes away, positivity brings life it brings positivity in life. The deep down self negation, self pity, lack of self trust, all these are creating all these negative narratives. That's why in that place we need to heal ourselves. That I'm a truthful person. I'm a trustworthy to myself, and everyone is trustworthy. Everyone, I can accept everyone as they are. I don't want anyone to change, to accept them and love them and trust them. So like that, the inside narrative we have to replace with positive narratives. Negative narratives we have to replace with positive narratives, and all conclusions which are life negative we have to replace with positive affirmations.
So every time the mind goes and bark, you just like need to push some positive formation.
That means the core person is always good. Then if a person behaves the way which is not acceptable to me, what is the cause of it? The cause of it, the person doesn't have enough knowledge or enough information. That's why the behavior comes from there. Had the person is more informed, more knowledgeable, the person wouldn't have behaved the way they behaved. So the core person is always good.
Yes.
It
And
is
also,
only the ignorance part of it.
we can say it also about ourselves, you know?
Yes, of course. So I have to be kind to myself. Therefore, it is when it comes to healing, it is all the more important not to blame oneself, not to criticize oneself. So we all need to be very kind to ourselves.
I shared with you a few days ago about a struggle that I had with depression. And one of the hardest things that stops me from healing was self-blame.
Yes.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Yeah.
It really took all of me.
They call it internalizing child. So the self-criticism and self-blame, both are coming in a way of healing oneself. So the first thing is, I shouldn't criticize myself.
I should be very careful about that.
And I need to tell myself, had I been more informed, I wouldn't have said what I have said. Had I been more informed, I wouldn't have done what I
This is
have
also a bit of blaming. If I was more informed, if I would have
done.
studied
That
more,
means I have no right to blame myself because of this
Yes.
reason. So ignorance is the reason, not I. The anger is the reason, not I. The lack of knowledge is the reason, not I. So
Yes.
you blame your ignorance. You don't blame yourself.
there's
The
been-
ignorance in me did it, I didn't do it. The anger in me did it, I didn't do it.
yes.
The ignorance in me did it. So who is to blame? My ignorance is to blame. My ignorance is to blame. That's why I did what I did. So I don't blame myself.
Yes.
I have to pass the
don't.
blame to my ignorance.
Yes.
That's how you free yourself from blaming yourself.
But when you say, for me, when you say I blame my ignorance, is also, for me, it's a blame. I
No.
feel it.
Blaming the ignorance means, had I been more informed,
Yes.
I wouldn't have behaved the way I have behaved.
Oh my, there is a
It is so you cannot criticize yourself for that.
beautiful. It reminds me of a quote of Maya Angelou, which said like, I don't remember exactly, but she said something like, I did what I know it's best for me at that time. If
Yes.
I knew better, I
Yeah.
would have done better.
Exactly.
So I didn't know. So what can I do with that?
Yeah.
And I beg whoever listens, like self-blame can really take all of you. Like really can disrupt you completely.
When you blame yourself, you are violent to yourself.
Violent completely.
Completely violent. When you are completely violent, any effort on your part to arrive at a solution in terms of yourself or in terms of others, it will be eclipsed.
Again?
It will be clumsy. You will lose your clarity.
When you blame yourself.
Yes. So the blamed person is trying to find a solution. So first thing is
Yes.
freeing oneself from this blame.
Carl Jung also said a person who blames others, I guess also himself, cannot be helped.
Exactly.
Which is beautiful also.
Yeah.
You mentioned in your book also, and you said it, you really emphasized, be very, very tremendously careful in how you speak to yourself.
Exactly.
Wow, that was so strong.
Yes.
And share a bit.
Yeah. Because if you conclude that if I conclude I'm an Indian. I'm an Indian.
Yes.
Existentially, that is not a true statement. If I conclude I'm a Hindu, existentially, that's not a true statement.
I'm stupid.
Yeah. If I conclude I am this body, it's a lie. Existentially, that is not true. So all our conclusions are away from us. That's why I can have an identity, I can have a nationality, I can have a religion, I can have a body, I can have a mind. So what I can have, I have all this. Then I cannot make all this as a source to create narratives about myself. Narratives should stay with the source.
Narrative should
stay with the source. If you think about the body and anything which you think about your body should stay with your body. You cannot put it, you cannot use it to define who you are.
You cannot define your body with who you are.
Yes.
You should be very careful.
You should be very careful.
I quote what you say about after I.
Yes.
Be very, very careful.
Yes. All these have a source which is away from you, not you. From there, the self-violence begins.
It's really violence. Like
it is violence.
It gives me, I can cry.
This is existential violence. Yes.
So painful. Yes, I am. Be careful of what you say to yourself. Also, mistakes, self-blame, all of these words.
Yes.
Be very careful because the universe is listening. I heard also this.
Who am I to blame myself? I have no right.
Ooh.
I have no right.
I have no right to blame myself, really?
Exactly. Who has given me the authority to blame myself? I am blaming myself, taking false authority. Because existence, the body is given to me. Mind is given, senses are given, nationality is given, parents are given.
Yes.
If everything is given, I should accept it with gratefulness. Who am I to criticize anything? Who am I to blame myself for anything which I have?
Yeah.
Because I didn't choose. It has been given to me.
Yes.
So I should accept what universal intelligence has given me. I should be able to accept it with gratefulness and gratitude. Then where is the problem? Did you choose your body?
No.
No.
Yes.
It has been given. Parents, given.
Yes.
Mind, given. Nationality, given. Religious identity, given. If everything is given, take it as a blessing and live peacefully with graceful acceptance. Who are you to blame yourself? It is violence. I will never ever blame myself for a single reason. Everything is given to me. My country where I am born, it is given to me. The parents I have, it is given to me. The nationality, given to me. My religious identity, given to me. This body, given to me. The mind, given to me. Everything in life is given to me. Then who am I to blame myself? What authority or what right I have got to myself? It's all gift.
Yes.
Everything is a gift.
Yeah.
Receive the gift with total gratitude and acceptance.
You know, many people listen now, and I can hear it. Like sometimes they will criticize. Okay, but I make sometimes mistakes. I make. Who are you to make mistakes? Yes, but
Wait.
yes.
I will never ever blame myself
Absolutely.
for any of my mistakes. Why? I am not born all with omniscience. My knowledge is limited. My powers are limited. My resources are limited. So I can commit mistakes. For that, I have no right to blame myself.
Yes.
I can correct and move forward.
You have to first accept. Okay.
Yeah.
But no blame.
No
Does
blame.
not help in any
No.
way. I know this personally. Oh my God.
That's why everything should be taken as a gift.
Everything should be taken as a gift.
Because it is given.
It is given.
Who has given you this gift? Either you say God or either you say universal intelligence has given you the gift. Then you accept it with folded hands. Be grateful.
Yeah, I want to challenge you a bit. I agree completely. A person overweight, okay? He's overweight person and he eats and he wants to be thinner or he wants to be more active. And he can immediately go to the blame part, you know? But you say accept. First accept. Yes, and also I want you to touch also in the subject of free will. I don't believe so much in free will, by the way. I believe sometimes our choices are not. We don't really make them. It's funny to say.
See, if the person is overweight, the person has got the free will to reduce food and go on. When the person finds oneself overweight, yes, the person has the free will to reduce the amount of food and he can go on a diet regimen and reduce it. That is free will.
Yes, but the way there, maybe he didn't have a choice.
But what?
I mean, the overeating, because it also, I'm going there to some other places, but I will say it shortly. It also was not a free will to be overweight, because maybe your parents eat a lot and you had a house full of food and overeating and whatever, and maybe your depression or your sadness or other emotions that were so strong and you went there. Yes.
So free will has a place. Because of your free will, you are right now in Australia.
Yes.
That is your free will. And using the free will, I can change what I can change. By using the very free will, I should pray to give me the wisdom to know what I can change and what I cannot. Therefore, I will never try to change what I cannot change. What I cannot change, I would accept with gracefulness, without fighting with it.
Yes. If I cannot change, I will accept it.
Yeah.
Acceptance is also very important.
Very, very important for healing. It will help me from...
First, you need to accept your situation.
Yes. But at the same time, I will do at my best to change what I can if I want to.
Yes.
But if I cannot change a situation, I should accept it with gracefully. That is also part of the free will.
But we talked about no self-violence,
Yeah.
no blame.
No blame. Because it's all gift.
Yeah, you mentioned in the book,
The universe gift.
yes, being in love with yourself.
Yes.
What did you mean by that?
That means I accepted, two ways. When you accept yourself the way you are in love with yourself. There is no resistance. Absence of resistance is love.
I think this is the also big.
But
biggest.
what I wrote is completely different from what I am saying. Because freeing the self from resistance leads to love. Now the self is already in resistance. That's why I cannot love myself the way I am. Therefore, breaking the self-identification frees the self from resistance. That is love. That is the point.
Yeah, resistance is also one of the strongest powers for suffering, for unhappiness. If you resist, even if I resist my mind, my mind brings me these thoughts and I'm like, what do you want me to do? Like, this is painful, it's painful. And this resistance also makes me suffer.
Yes. So I see how I am hurting myself by resisting. So their acceptance comes.
Yes.
Graceful acceptance comes.
I want to touch, we talked now about resistance, and you mentioned desire. Desire is also resistance. It was so interesting.
Desire, of course, is resistance. But it's a benign resistance. That desires are required to function in our life. This is fuel for life. But there are functional desires and psychological desires. Psychological desires also can be addressed. But the existential craving for fullness in the form of a desire cannot be addressed. That cannot be addressed not in the world. It can be addressed only with the help of the scripture. That's the point.
So, for example, if I want a person to like me, it's a psychological desire?
See, why should you want someone to like you? Why should you want someone to love you if you are in love with yourself?
Yeah.
There is no need to carry that false need to be loved. Because when someone loves you, immediately you become lovable to yourself. So, when you become lovable to yourself, you become acceptable to yourself. So, self non-acceptance is the problem. You want a mirror to accept yourself.
Yeah.
That you call love. So, it's a false need. So, where is the solution? Being in love with myself is a solution. Then everything is going to be plus.
It's beautiful, and I believe that, but how? The question returns to how. How do you become more in love with yourself?
That is called dropping the identification, the false identifications. Self is now suffering from identification. The self identifies with the body, mind, senses. So you have to drop everything. When you drop everything, you are simply conscious. That simple state of being conscious is love. Enjoying the sense of beingness is love. So you drop your identification and conclusions about yourself.
What is functional desires that you mentioned?
I need food because it's a need of the body. So food, water. So there are body-related needs, mind-related needs. But right, it has to be. The world is the right place for you to address all that. But the desire to become complete, you can address it. That need cannot be addressed by gaining or getting rid of anything from the world. That need can be addressed only by knowing the nature of the self.
And how do you know the nature of yourself?
You have to go to your guru, you have to listen to the scripture.
I got you. I want to share with you when I just arrived to the ashram. By the way, we are in an ashram yoga center in West Australia, beautiful. I didn't sleep for the first few days. It was a new place, also the jet lag, whatever. I couldn't sleep. I didn't eat so much because I was so tired, and I also and I couldn't be, spiritual. Let's say I was more unhappy, when the physical aspects, when the physical I don't know how to call it, requirements, or I couldn't be spiritual. It was hard for me more. What do you think about that? What is your...
Which is natural, because there is a cultural shock and a lot of things you are carrying inside, because your mother country is fighting for its survival. All the tension related with that.
Yes.
And identity crisis.
Identity crisis, but also physically. I
Yeah,
was
physically.
exhausted. I was exhausted.
All this will reflect.
My question is, what do you say to people? Okay, do work, have kids, family, all this kind of stuff, physically are exhausted, and you ask them how can they maintain spirituality or not lose it so quickly when they are tired or hungry or angry?
Respond to situations the way it comes, intelligently, but not resort to reactions, because reactions won't give any results, only responses give results.
Yeah. I remember one time in the ashram when I was angry. I was very angry, and I know it's illusion, and I know it's not, it's unconsciousness, but the emotion was already there. It was already there. It came. I was unconsciousness in that time, and it came, and I couldn't control it. Let's say, what I did, I just left the place that I was in, the room. I left it. I could not stay because I knew if I stay, I poison all.
Yeah.
And I was so scared about that. I
Yeah.
didn't want to poison anyone.
Yeah.
I just left.
Yeah.
And after 1-2 hours, I calmed down and everything was happy. I really, and many people say, always make sure what energy you brings to the room,
Yeah.
And I always try, you say about
Yeah.
pleasing people. That's
Yeah.
what I'm talking about. I
Yeah.
always like people to smile
Yeah.
and to be happy. And it's hard for me when people is upset with me or... So I have the disease to please, disease to please. But yeah, so I couldn't accept, I couldn't surrender. So I surrendered to the fact that I cannot surrender.
Yeah.
And I just remove myself.
Yeah.
What is your take about that?
It is good, because when the first thing is self-reflective awareness. With self-reflective awareness, we can immediately find the state of our emotions. So we can move away before reacting. We just keep ourselves away from it. That's an intelligent move. Otherwise, it can drag us to compulsive actions.
Yes, I know many people that when they are angry or they're over floated with emotions, they just go for a walk outside by themselves.
Yes.
And I was like, why do they do that? Now I really understand that.
Yes.
Just removing yourself.
And also keeping ourselves, if I want to be angry, I want to tell something because of anger. Okay, just hold it and say, I will tell him tomorrow. Yes. Or after 3 hours. Wait.
So important. Don't be a reactive.
Yeah. I mean, after 3 hours. After 3 hours, again you find yourself angry. Okay, next day I will pass this information.
Next day I will. Yes.
Yeah. Then my state of mind might have changed.
Yes.
Like that, we have to keep ourselves away from reacting.
Yes. How do you
postpone it?
Yes. So you wait. That's really important what you're saying right now.
Yes.
So you wait, but sometimes sometimes it's not easy.
You feel like telling off to this person.
Telling off.
Telling off. You tell off because you're angry. You have to tell off something.
But let's say it's your wife, it's your girlfriend, and you sleep in the same bed.
Yeah. Then hold it. I'll tell her tomorrow.
Yes.
This is not. I'm angry right now.
Yes.
This is not the right time.
Yes.
So let me talk to her tomorrow.
Maybe writing.
Then go for a walk, sing a song, write down something, or cook something. Distract yourself with other things.
I cannot emphasize how much just going out helps. It's a magical, really, like especially here in West Australia. Oh my God, the nature here, so abundance of nature and quietness. You can really get lost, and I completely understand. Not everyone has this privilege to go outside, to have nature safely, go outside in the darkness or whatever, and just calm down and be quiet with the trees and the animals. but it helps so much. Do you do that?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes, of course.
What is your have a routine? What do you do? Like what kind of, yeah, I'm trying to ask you what is your routine. Maybe I can
Routine,
take, or
I
whoever
mean,
listens.
back home I'm teaching.
Yes.
So morning I have meditation, I have class. So I will reflect on what I'm going to say in the class. So I don't have time for any other thing.
Yes. When do you have time for yourself, actually?
I'm always with myself. I don't want time for myself.
You don't need.
No.
You're always with yourself.
Yes.
That's beautiful, actually. I'm always with myself. Are you really?
Yes.
But you know, people have desires, requests. People want you.
One can have. It's all luxury.
It's all
Make
what?
luxury.
Luxury.
Yeah. Make all desires luxury.
Grateful for that.
Yeah. Desires are a luxury. If it is there, it is there. If it is not there, there is no problem. I call it luxury.
You don't have desires?
Yeah, you can have desires. Why not? But these desires, convert those desires into luxury.
Convert this.
Desires into luxury.
Which means?
Which means, oh, by accomplishing this, I'm going to be better. Things are going to change. I'm going to fulfill myself. That thought is not there. If it is there, it is there. If you have a coffee, have it. If you don't have a coffee, enjoy not having a coffee. If you have a coffee, enjoy yourself with the coffee. If you don't have a coffee, enjoy yourself without a coffee. That is freedom.
Yes. You know, you talked about in one of the lessons about the desire and the resistance. You know, it's the same thing. If you have a desire, it's resisting. We talked about.
But it's a functional resistance. There are different types of
functional resistance.
Functional resistance is the functional fuel for life.
Fuel for life.
Yeah, it's a fuel.
But there is fuel.
Yeah, fuel for life.
The resistance.
Yeah, that is functional resistance.
Suffering.
But psychological resistance is a problem. I need to deal with it. I like someone, I don't like someone. All these are psychological resistance. I need to resolve that.
How do you resolve that? Psychological resistance?
Creating cognitive spaces inside and learning to accept disagreements, differences, and knowing everybody has the right to live, right for freedom, right to pursue what they want to pursue. So many ways you can give other spaces inside you.
You know, I remember when I had a huge arguments with my ex-girlfriend and I started to do meditations. Every time after the meditations,
you should settle.
I settled
your account with your ex-girlfriend first.
But what I'm saying is, I was very mad, and I wanted to say X, and I was like, I'm not going to give about that, and I'm not going to. And then after the meditation, I was so calm.
That's it.
I didn't care anymore.
Yeah.
And I was so in love with everything around me.
Yeah.
It is amazing tool.
If you start arguing with your girlfriend, she will leave you, because she won't find any comfort while she is with you.
But some couples can argue for life.
But
I see.
But they will argue, but still love is there. Love is not lost. Trust is not lost.
Love is not trust?
Love is born of trust.
Is trust, yeah.
Love is born of trust.
Love is born of trust.
Where trust is, love is. Where trust is, there is no fear.
That's beautiful. You focus a lot in this conversation about trust.
Yes.
I trust. You don't think, you don't see, you mention it so much time, but you think many people don't trust. That's true. Many people don't. What do you mean by trust? I want to, because you raised it and it's interesting for me.
See, in your presence, if I have no fear, it implies I trust you. In your presence, if my self-defense mechanism is completely absent, it implies I trust you. So lack of fear between two people implies there is trust between them.
What do you do about the fear, which is so strong and so and coming so often? What do you do with that? How do you manage that?
99% of our fears are unfounded. It is imaginative.
You say it, I believe that, I know that, but still people live.
Then we have to reflect on it. We have to change our narratives. It's a kind of work, cognitive work, which you need to do all the time. See, if you want to heal yourself, you should have enough tools to heal yourself. Without tools, you will be nowhere. So these are the tools we can use to heal ourselves. That's very important. So the conversation is giving you enough tools, what to tell to yourself about yourself, and how to remove all these wrong narratives, how to see how to see the goodness in people, because everyone is a simple conscious person. All the narratives are creating these conflicts. So we have to create narratives in such a way that it will bring harmony to myself and to others. These are the tools.
So there is still a thought and a question in my head. So the fear is imaginable. We know 99%.
But there are functional fears.
It's functional fears.
There are imaginative fears.
Yes. If somebody now wants to hurt you, pulls a gun against you, whatever, so there is no even fear. You just do an action, you know. But most of the fear is imaginable. But my question is, I think we go back to the start. Is when fear comes, it's very important the words that you say to yourself. So my next question is, are we supposed to be always in a fight or resistance? I guess the answer is no. With the mind, like the mind says, okay, this is fearful, this is dangerous, don't go there, this is like this, and I know my mind, I believe really 99% of the time is lying completely, and I know that, but still, do I always, like that's what I'm asking, and this is my struggle maybe a bit, do I always need to be in conflict with the mind, always like he says something and then I need to say something? It's exhausting. What do you think about that?
See, that's why one shouldn't fight with oneself.
Again?
One shouldn't fight with oneself. There surrender comes, trust comes, graceful acceptance comes. There comes the value of not criticizing oneself. How there comes the value of not blaming oneself. There comes the attitude of graceful acceptance. There comes the appreciation of this life as a gift, parentage as a gift, and body as a gift, mind as a gift, everything as a gift. If everything is given to me, I not created it. That means I have only the right to accept what is as it is. But I have a mind, I will respond to situations. As situations come, I respond to situations positively. I move forward with a life wherein I will be in harmony with myself and harmony with others.
Surrender to it. You don't fight.
Yes, never fight.
Affirmations are not fighting?
No fighting. I don't want to fight because life is too short to fight and living my life in conflict. Life is too short for it. I don't have time for it.
So you don't even react? Like let's
No,
say,
life is beautiful.
let's say your mind tells you, oh, you're
No.
not good enough.
No judgments.
I don't say affirmation like I am beautiful.
No.
I don't even react.
Exactly.
I surrender to it.
I surrender to it.
Yeah, I don't like, yes.
Yeah, surrender to it. Total surrender.
Yeah, there is a beautiful quote by Churchill. You know, he said, if you throw stones at every dog that barks, you will never reach your destination.
Exactly.
So yeah, I feel it. Like throwing stones all the time against the mind, he will win. He will win. There is no, you cannot win the mind.
No.
Like in that way.
Yeah.
Okay, there is a beautiful quote that I want to read from the book about resistance, which was very interesting, and we talked a little bit about it. Pursuing happiness, hunting for ecstatic experiences, seeking freedom, or looking for fulfillment in life are visible signs of resistance within oneself. Yes, and you continue to write, this self-resistance leading to self-violence can only be fixed by knowing the nature of self in its totality. But this is hard, you know, people reading, pursuing happiness, hunting for okay, pursuing happiness, you know, seeking freedom or looking for fulfillment are signs of resistance.
Yeah.
That's really hard.
Yeah. Right. Yes. Shall we conclude?
Yes.
Yes.
So, okay, so what is your message, Swami, to people who listens?
See, life is a gift.
Life is a gift.
Accept it with gratitude. Respond to life. Keep yourself away from reacting to it. Reaction leads to resistance. Resistance leads to unhappiness.
Yes. Swami, thank you so much.
Yes.
Yes, so you have the book. We
Yeah.
talked about the book, Zero Gravity Living.
That is in Amazon.
Unlocking the Secrets of Life and Existence. This is on
Yeah.
Amazon.
Yeah.
And of course, I will write everything in the description and in the title.
Exactly.
And yes, thank you so much, Swami.